It's May 30th, 2026. So this is going to be three stories. It's mainly about one thing. It's about the videos and me thinking that I caught up and that I don't have to do one every week. But like God said, I want you to do one every 7 days. I said, okay. And then he just wanted me to catch up. I just want you to catch up. That's what he said in 2025, seventh month, seventh day. And I said, okay, that's what I'll do. I'll catch up. So, as far as I know, I thought I caught up at the beginning of March this year. But I guess that's not the case because the angels that I deal with, there's two of them. They told me, they says, listen, when someone wants to do something and then they have another person that they want to do something for, or they need to get something done, a lot of times the person asking the person will say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll get it done tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and the individual asks the other person, you said you were going to do this thing that you wanted to do tomorrow. And he goes, yeah, I told you I'll do it tomorrow. And this goes on and on and on. And finally, the other individual that keeps asking the person, when are you going to get this done, keeps saying tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Now, the angels told me that this is the same idea with catch up. You're never going to be caught up. You got to keep going. Every story has to have something. So that's what I'm doing three stories about this individually. So this is the first one. In January of this year, 2026, one of the young ladies that I used to associate with, and then she went off on her own doing things that people do in their lives. It was one of the people that I've done a reading on maybe 12, 15 years ago. And she wanted another reading after 5 years, and I told her, no, I can't do that. It's usually because I see something that I don't like or something bad. And sure enough, she had a stroke. So she requested my presence, and I wasn't going to do it because my sister died in 2025, December 7th. Now I don't even remember. Sometimes this happens when you're, grieving. But it was in December for sure. I think it was the 7th. Well, I do have documents with it, but I'm not going to go get it right now. But anyway, she remembered a lot about my sister because my sister, she came on places with me, rides with me, saw a lot of my friends, a lot of the things that I did and people that I help. And that got me a little bit. And I said, yeah, I'll come. So I went to go see her, and she has her boyfriend that she's been with about, I figure, a decade at least. He's a really nice person. I'm just acquaintance with him at this particular time, and the story's sort of sways to that gentleman that we're talking about right now, her boyfriend. So after the reading, I'm pretty precise again. She says, can you give him a ride to work? I said, sure, I can. And so I proceeded to give him a ride to work. And he said that he lost his license or was lost in the mail or something like that. And he's been having a hard time with a lot of things, with work and stuff like that. And I said, well, you know what, if I can help, I'll try to give you rides to work, see if that helps you out. And he said, that'd be greatly appreciated. So anyway, started doing that. And then as anybody, I don't even have to touch a person or anything like that. As I get close to someone or someone's in proximity, I start to feel things and see things and stuff like that. And so sure enough, with this gentleman, I saw a silver lining around his life. And then I also saw like an entity, but it wasn't an angel. It wasn't, I don't think it was a spirit. It was pretty fresh. It was dominant. And it's like, try to keep him consistent. And so going to work, it was very difficult for him, as I found out, because, taking any type of transportation can be expensive. So he was having a hard time doing that. So I made sure that I was consistent in trying to take him to work at a certain time, so he'd be there early if possible. And that's what they told me, keep it consistent. And then he said he's going to need your help. So I tried to figure out what exactly that is. At this time, it's January. I'm pretty well caught up on the videos. A month goes by. I still get a lot of good messages about him. He's a very good person. He starts to say things like, you know, deer season. The deers will hide in deer season. And I'm like, what? Like, really? I think what the deers have a calendar. They know when deer season is. They know when the hunters are going hunting. I'm pretty sure sometimes they even change it a week to week when deer season turns up. And then he was even talking about the turkeys. Even the turkeys know when they're going to be in danger and they'll hide. Now, a lot of people don't know this or even care, but I do too. I know that they have a sense that they know when danger is going to come. But to know a whole season of it or to know a whole system of it, that's kind of odd. He knew answers to questions he shouldn't have not known the answers to. And I don't know why, and he told me he doesn't know why. And he has this thing with math that he's really good at. And I find a situation where he can figure out with mathematical equations, perhaps, how he knows what he knows without him knowing that he knows it. So, a couple months go by. I'm still trying to help, trying to figure out what this is. At this particular time, I start to become curious. And I tell him about the videos that I'm making. And he goes, that's pretty cool. And then I figured out that a situation with a person that you're with, and you think that you're done doing the videos that you're doing because you were told by God, just to catch up. And I'm caught up, and it's March now. And I'm not doing them hardly anymore. Like I'm doing one every 3 weeks or something. And now I really can sense things that are going to happen. And so at this particular time in March, near the end of March, I was driving the gentleman to work. And all of a sudden, I'm at the lights. I am stopped. I am at my town, my city, London. I'm on Highbury. I can see the road, and Hamilton. And all of a sudden, we get hit from behind. I have no knowledge of this. I usually know when bad things are going to happen, especially to the person beside me. Myself, a lot of times something can happen and surprise me, and I won't know about my own self. But other people, I will know if something bad's going to happen to them. And bang, they hit us. Now I'm like, oh man. And then the guy tells me I hit the gas instead of the brake. I start to reflect on these videos that I'm making. I haven't made one in 2 weeks. I'm thinking to myself, I hope God's not giving me a sign here that, I got to continue making these videos because I didn't see that coming. At this particular time, I just said, you know what? Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe it's just an accident. The guy hit the gas instead of the brake. He misinterpreted his drive. I got to go to physio now. I asked the gentleman if he's okay. He said he's fine. I'm okay. I said, all right then. So we do all the accident reportings and all this stuff. I make sure that the insurance company has his name and all that stuff, so that way, if he wants to, he can pursue physio or whatever he needs if he's in any discomfort. Now, as far as I know, I'm thinking there's something up with this. But I let it go. I said, okay, I'm just going to let this go. And the next video I'm going to talk about is another individual where something else happens. And so I still don't get it. And then I'm going to talk a third one. I still don't. I get it on the third one for sure. And the idea of this story is because, look, this guy's in a building, right? He's in a house. And there's a flood coming. So they're evacuating. So they send a car or a vehicle or something to help the person evacuate. And the person goes to these people helping him evacuate. Say, listen, God's going to save me. I don't need your help. God's going to save me. And so these people go on their way. The flood comes. It's getting deep, He can't get out with his car anymore. He can't get out. He can't walk. It's about, water's getting deeper. And so a boat comes. And he goes, listen, we're evacuating you now. You must come or else you'll be in grave danger. He goes, no, God's going to save me. Don't worry, God's going to save me. And then, it keeps coming. The flood keeps coming. So now he's on his roof. No way. If something doesn't save him now, he's a goner. And so a helicopter comes, and he goes, "Listen, you got to get out of here. You're going to drown. Let's save you." And he goes to the helicopter guys. He goes, "No, no, 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 no. God's going to save me. God's going to save me." Sure enough, he drowns. He's up in front of God. He goes, "God, I thought you were going to save me." God looks at him and he says, "Listen, I sent you a vehicle to get you out of there even before the flood started. Then I even sent you a boat. You still did want to go. The helicopter, come on, that was over the top. Like, really, you still didn't want to go? And you're blaming me? Come on." And that's the idea of the signs. The description of this gentleman that I became friends with, or we're friends with still, because the silver lining that I saw has not happened yet. So that's also an ongoing story. And I keep in contact with him and the young lady due to their situation issues in life. He's about 6'1", brown eyes, figure. I'm colorblind, so I don't know about that. He wears glasses, long hair, mid-50s, 55, I think. And he's also born on a special day. I didn't know all these things during the time I was around him, but anybody born in special days have special abilities and special gifts. He's born on the 27th of July. Think about it. The 7th month, 27th day. And that's a Leo. That's a lion. So I know that there's something special going to happen for him, and that will be told in another story at another time. Yeah. I don't understand how he knows answers to questions he should not know. Even this idea about frequencies, which I was really flipped out about. He knew that there's certain musical frequencies that can be detected and nobody else can understand them. And they'll give you information in certain aspects in your life, how to deal with it and be successful and prosperous. And he knew this. And that's, I thought, was pretty wild. Yeah. Okay, it's Birdy signing off. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks.